I am not. I am not one who buys into wild-eyed conspiracy theories, but it does feel like somebody yesterday got to Nunberg and said, "I will bet you that you can't go on every single television program on TV today." And Nunberg was like, "I'll take that bet." Here he is calling into Spectrum News New York 1. Like, I mean, he's run out of cable channels that will take him on,
like a
national one. So he's like, I mean, for all we know, he could have done this with every city in the country. Like, I'm going to call into the local cable operated.
Good morning, Kalamazoo. I hate Corey Lewandowski. Carter Page is a nutso. But I'm not going to put Roger Stone in jail, who did nothing wrong, by the way.
I wonder if, like, the bookers were, like, saying to Nunberg, like, hey, we've heard you on MSNBC. We've heard you on CNN multiple times. What could you possibly say on our network that you haven't said anywhere else? And Nunberg was like, watch.
Oh, this is so great.
You know what? If Sarah Huckabee wants to start debasing me, she's a joke. Yes. Okay, fine. Yeah, she's not attractive. She's a fat slob. Okay, fine. But that's not relevant. The person she works for has a 30% approval rating. Okay? So if she wants to start attacking me, she can do that. That's fun. But we know it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a joke.
When Sam Nunberg's right about stuff, we're going to have to come up with, like, a new phrase. Like, it can't be broken clock. It has to be some, like, out of order, damaged clock. Something. He
is, like, this is like what we call, like, in the business, a macro. Like, he goes on, and every time he raises Lewandowski and what's her face, Hope Hicks, he will go like, "Look, I'm not going to talk about Lewandowski and his paramour Hope Hicks, who are having an affair together. That's irrelevant." And he does the same thing with Sarah Sanders.
But it's even better.
I don't care that she's unattractive and fat. Doesn't know what she's talking about. That doesn't mean anything.
But that's even better because at least with the Lewandowski Hicks thing, there's like, oh, well, he's trying to fit a narrative where, like, Lewandowski and Hicks got us off of the campaign and they were sleeping with each other. It's like, okay, you can make a case that there is some relevance to that information. But Huckabee is just purely just like, it's not relevant that she's a disgusting slob. And you're like, well, it is actually, in fact, not relevant that she's a disgusting slob. But you just did it.
This is the Donald Trump. Like,
he is totally.
I don't have to mention that, there's someone
all
who's really
of
bad.
These people are Donald Trump. It's unbelievable.
Only the best.
Like, you look where did this little freak come from?
I found the Hope Hicks, Corey Lewandowski part of this clip.
Okay, yeah, let's look at this.
I'm not going to sit there for 80 hours for this document request. I have real work to do. I have to earn a living. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is fair. I don't think it's fair to ask me.
Look at her smirk.
Paul Manafort, Rick Gates. Once again, like I told you, Corey Lewandowski, Hope Hicks. Do you think I was talking to Corey and Hope Hicks? I mean, while they were having their affair after they screwed over Roger and me? Give me a break. Carter Page? Never met him.
So let me ask you
by the way, look at this. Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump is a number 3 on the list that you're releasing.
I think that's a problem when they ask that too. Well, now I would turn over anything. But
no, you wouldn't. The whole point, the reason you're here right now, the reason we're talking about all this is you're saying you won't turn over things. That's the problem, Sam. Right?
I'm saying I'm not going to spend 80 hours going over emails with Steve Bannon and Roger Stone because Roger and me and Steve, we communicated like 50 times a day.
We talked about that. This is my final
yes,
question.
Sir.
I appreciate you sharing with us your thinking. It is certainly newsworthy. This is the final question for you. And again, I say this. Forget the law. Forget the journalism. Forget that we're on a TV studio.
Okay.
Oh, he already forgot.
Is it possible, as someone listens to you and you talk so much about all of these people and you've been through something with them and you feel that you've been through something that's been unfair, is it possible that in the heat of this, you're having a very strong reaction based on the strong feelings you have and that over time, you might come around to a different view of this? Is it possible that this is coming in the heat of the moment?
I think that in our discussion, and what you said, I would have no problem going to the grand jury. But I, once again, don't want to have to spend 80 hours going over email.
You'd rather spend possibly a year in jail than 80 hours going through
I'm not
emails.
going to jail. You think I'm going to jail?
No, wait, really? Do you?
But wait, do you think I'm going to jail? You seem serious. The best part too is that like it seems like Nunberg, and he's done this with every reporter that he was on, where he's like, it's almost like he thinks he's negotiating with the reporter. Like, I'm not going to do 80 hours. Come back to me with like 35 hours.
She's a lawyer. Maybe he literally thinks that all lawyers are part of the same lawyering thing, and you just talk to one lawyer, and then it's just negotiated with all lawyers.
At one point, he's going through the list, and he's saying, look, I'm not going to give contact Carter Page. I don't even know Carter Page. That's why I shouldn't testify. Now, Steve Bannon, he was a good friend of mine. Why would I testify against that? Like,
no, that's amazing. It's and it's great because he always reaches, like, when he's going on the paper, even though he's lighting himself on fire, you're thinking like, okay, he might have found something that will at least, especially if you're not involved in the process, you're not on the prosecution team, it sounds extraneous. Like, why do I don't know what it would be like. Hey, why do I have to give Robert Mueller my gym schedule or something?
Right,
exactly. Like, oh, that's bizarre. And it's like, why would I give my communications with all of the central players that they're investigating? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's a Trump team technique where you get through a disagreement by acting like everyone's actually agreeing.
Right. Like, I think we can all agree that whether it's people I don't know or people that I hate or people who are my friends, all of whom work for the campaign, all of that is immaterial. Right, lawyer lady? Wouldn't you agree? Are you friends with Al Sharpton? Can you call him too?
Oh, right. He was. I would provide all of the exculpatory material, but there's so much of it. Why would I do it?
Oh, no, that's still a tick too coherent.
Well, that's what he's saying. Like, look, I've talked to them 15 times a day. My email box is full of information that could be relevant to this. Why would I hand it over?
Do you think, and this is just a genuine curiosity, and I almost don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin the fun, but it's like, clearly the FBI and sometimes prosecutors, like, they do. I think what's happening here is I think that they're going to find a ton of legitimate criminal activity through investigating this, because I think that all these people are legitimately criminals. But at the same time, like, there are cases where they do seem like they corner people into pure, like, I've heard people say like, hey, look, if you're part of an investigate, like, all of us are being investigated by the FBI, there's no there. But if you give them a year, they could pretty much figure out how to get anybody in a perjury charge. So I feel like what he's saying at his most coherent, and maybe this is still giving him too much credit, is nobody did anything wrong. I've talked to them a lot, and I could see they have a strategy where they're just going to try to get Roger to perjure himself. I don't want to be part of that, which he still shouldn't be saying on TV anyways. But that's
That's what McDougal.
Well, the other woman mentioned that, which we didn't pull. So I'm saying, like, maybe.
Let me just explain who that is. During the Clinton, Clinton prosecution, I guess really the independent counsel, McDougal was there was a couple. They were a family friend. I think he may have died of cancer during this time, and she was in jail for 16 months with Ken Starr, and I think because she refused to meet the subpoena. So there is a precedent for that. I mean, it could be a very principled stand. It is an odd way of going about it, and he doesn't seem to be like, he's not going on there saying like, I'm willing to go to jail because I think this is really wrong and this and that. He's going like, I'm not going to jail. Am I going to jail?
Wait,
because I think supposedly now he's backed off of this stuff.
I have a legal question for you.
Here is,
I have a bar mitzvah. Does that preclude me from going to jail?